Glad to see you again. Sometimes it seems like fatigue and nagging pain just appear on their own, simply as a part of aging, right? Does this feeling sound familiar? When morning starts, not with energy, but with a quiet yet persistent ache in your back, neck, or shoulders, as if you didn't rest at all, but spent the whole night carrying heavy loads. You might have slept the recommended hours, but your body feels stiff, uncooperative, and it takes time to loosen up. Well, often the culprit behind this morning discomfort can be a habit we consider harmless, even correct: sleeping on your back. Over the years, our spine and muscles change. Imagine your spine as an old but beloved bridge. It still holds up, but its supports aren't as resilient, ligaments aren't as elastic, and joints require gentler treatment. When you lie on your back, especially if your mattress or pillow isn't right for you, your body weight presses down on specific points. The curves of your spine can become unnatural, and the surrounding muscles, instead of relaxing, remain tense, trying to hold the structure together. It's like trying to sleep while balancing on a tightrope. You won't get any rest. And compounding this problem are our loyal companions: old, sagging mattresses, pillows that are too high or too low, that turn our bed not into a haven of rest, but into a real battlefield against discomfort. But I want to promise you, by changing just one simple thing, your sleeping position, you can significantly reduce or even eliminate morning pain, sleep better, and feel more refreshed and energetic throughout the day. No complicated expenses or efforts needed. It's much simpler than it seems. Stay with me until the end, and you'll learn how a small shift in your nightly habits can give you a new quality of life and the joy of waking up easily. So, what is this simple change? The first and most important piece of advice, which changed my life and the lives of many people I've spoken with: try to consciously retrain yourself to sleep on your side instead of your back. It sounds simple, but I know how strong habits can be. Let me tell you the story of Arthur, who is 72 years old. Arthur had always been proud of his soldier-like posture and slept exclusively on his back, straight as an arrow. But for the last 5 years or so, every morning had become torture. His lower back ached so much that for the first half hour, he could only move with small steps, bent over. He blamed age, the weather, the old sofa, anything but his favorite sleeping position. When his doctor and children gently suggested that sleeping on his back might be the issue, Arthur just brushed it off. Nonsense. I've slept like this my whole life. It's the healthiest position. Everyone says so. At my age, changing habits is like transplanting an old tree. You'll only make it worse. He genuinely believed that sleeping on his back was correct, and the thought of sleeping differently seemed unnatural, even a bit humiliating. Like, what am I, completely sick, to be curling up in a ball? The first attempts were agonizing. He would lie on his side, but his body would automatically return to the familiar position. He would wake up on his back, and the pain was right there waiting for him. He got angry, considering it a useless endeavor. But then his daughter gave him a special long body pillow, a cuddle pillow, as she called it. At first, Arthur grumbled, but the pillow was soft and cozy, and he decided to give it a chance, at least not to offend his daughter. He lay on his side, hugging the pillow in front and throwing one leg over it. This pillow created a physical barrier, making it harder for him to easily roll onto his back, and at the same time provided support and a feeling of coziness. After a week, he caught himself thinking with surprise that he had woken up, and his back hardly hurt at all. Wasn't it a miracle? Physiologically, it's all explainable. When you lie on your side, your spine aligns in a more natural line. Pressure is relieved from pinched nerve roots and intervertebral discs, which lose moisture and become less resilient with age. It's like unloading a heavily burdened shelf. The tension disappears. Psychologically, for Arthur, it was a victory over his own stubbornness and fear of change. He realized that age isn't a sentence to immobility and pain. What did he gain? He regained ease of movement in the mornings, started sleeping better because the pain didn't wake him mid-sleep, and even his perpetually gloomy mood brightened up a bit. So maybe it's worth a try, just for one night, to start. Place an extra pillow beside you to prevent you from rolling onto your back. Observe how you feel. So, we've established that switching to your side is a good start, but since we're on the topic, it's worth clarifying one important point. Pay special attention to sleeping on your left side. Why the left side specifically? There are interesting reasons for this, especially if you're bothered not only by pain, but also by, say, digestion. Consider Eleanor, aged 75. Eleanor suffered not only from morning neck and back pain, but also from frequent heartburn, especially if dinner was late or a bit heavier than usual. She took heartburn medication and tried not to eat before bed, but the unpleasant burning sensation in her chest often prevented her from falling asleep or woke her up during the night. She slept, like many, on her back, occasionally turning onto her right side. The idea that sleep position could affect heartburn seemed strange to her. What's the connection? She wondered. The stomach is inside. It doesn't care how I lie. She was a very meticulous woman, accustomed to order in everything, and changing her sleep position seemed like an unnecessary disruption to her routine. She felt uncomfortable thinking she needed to control herself even during sleep. But her son read an article about the benefits of sleeping on the left side and gently persuaded her to try it. At first, Eleanor felt uncomfortable. The left side felt wrong, and she was bothered by the sensation of her heartbeat, which, by the way, is usually normal if there are no heart conditions. But she persistently continued the experiment, placing a pillow behind her back to stop herself from rolling over. And what happened? After a couple of weeks, she noticed two things. First, her neck and back pain in the morning really did lessen. Second, her heartburn episodes became much less frequent. The explanation is simple. Our stomach has an asymmetrical shape, and its entrance, the esophageal sphincter, is positioned such that when lying on the left side, stomach acid is less likely to flow back into the esophagus. Gravity helps. Imagine a bottle with liquid lying on its side. If the neck points upward, like when sleeping on the left side, the liquid stays inside. If the neck points downward, like when sleeping on the right side or back, it can leak out. Furthermore, sleeping on the left side is thought to improve lymphatic drainage, as the main lymphatic duct, thoracic duct, runs predominantly on the left side of the body. For Eleanor, this was a revelation. She not only got rid of heartburn without medication, but also felt better overall. Her sleep became deeper, and mornings became kinder. This simple change gave her back control over her well-being. Try giving preference to your left side too, especially if you're familiar with heartburn. It might become your little secret to comfortable digestion and peaceful sleep. Of course, the left side is often recommended, but what if it doesn't suit you for some reason? It's important to remember that there are no universal solutions, and you shouldn't completely dismiss sleeping on the right side either. There are situations where the right side might be more comfortable or even preferable. Meet David, 78 years old. David, a former engineer, always approached everything with logic and analysis. Having read about the benefits of left-side sleeping for most people, he decided to strictly follow this recommendation to ease his morning joint stiffness. However, he noticed that when he lay on his left side for a long time, he experienced a slight but unpleasant sensation in the heart area. Not pain, but rather pressure or an awareness of its beating. He had some heart issues in the past, and although his doctor said sleeping on the left side was safe, David felt psychologically uncomfortable. He felt anxiety that prevented him from falling asleep. "It feels like I'm lying right on my heart," he complained to his wife. "It's like sleeping on a ticking clock that's about to explode." This fear, although perhaps irrational, negated all the benefits of changing his position. He started waking up unrefreshed again, but now not from pain, but from anxiety. Then he decided to experiment and try sleeping on his right side. And to his surprise, this position turned out to be much more comfortable for him. The feeling of pressure in his chest disappeared, and the anxiety subsided. Yes, perhaps it wasn't ideal for his digestion, but peaceful, deep sleep without fear proved more important. Some research suggests that people with certain types of heart failure might find it easier to breathe and more comfortable to sleep specifically on their right side, as this position can slightly alter the pressure in the heart chambers and the heart's position within the chest cavity. Imagine your body as a complex system of instruments, and sometimes one position is better for one instrument and another position for another. You need to find the balance that works specifically for you. David found his balance. He alternated sleeping on his right side with short periods on his left, and this allowed him both to relieve his joints and to sleep peacefully without listening anxiously to every heartbeat. The main takeaway from David's story: listen to your body. General recommendations are good, but your individual reaction is more important. If the left side is uncomfortable for you for any reason, be it your heart, shoulder, or just an internal feeling, try the right side. The main thing is to move away from sleeping on your back, which often becomes a source of problems at our age. Find your comfortable side, right or left, and give your back a rest. Found your comfortable side? Excellent. But you can make sleep even more comfortable, especially if your lower back is what bothers you. If simply lying on your side isn't quite comfortable yet, try a variation of this position, sleeping in the fetal position. While lying on your side, slightly bend your knees and pull them up towards your chest and gently round your back. Remember how babies sleep. They instinctively find the safest and most comfortable position. Margaret, 70, suffered for many years from sciatica, pain that radiated from her lower back down the back of her leg. Sometimes the pain was so intense that she couldn't sit, stand, or lie down without agony. Sleep became a nightmare. She tried everything, sleeping on her back with a pillow under her knees, on her side with a straight back. Nothing helped for long. The pain kept returning. The thought of curling up in a ball, as she called it, seemed wrong to her. "I'm not a child," she'd say. "You should lie straight so your spine is straight." She associated this position with weakness, with vulnerability. It felt like admitting defeat to the pain. But one day, exhausted after another sleepless night, she instinctively curled up into a ball on her side, pulling her knees almost up to her chin. And suddenly she felt relief, slight, but definite. The tension in her lower back eased. She fell asleep in this position and, for the first time in a long while, slept for several hours straight without being woken by pain. Why does this work? When you lie on your side with straight legs and back, your pelvis can twist slightly, creating tension in the lower back. But when you pull your knees towards your chest and slightly round your back, you essentially open up the space between the vertebrae and the lumbar region, reducing pressure on nerve roots, including the sciatic nerve. It's similar to gently stretching a compressed spring. The tension releases. For Margaret, it was a revelation. She realized that correct isn't what others say, but what helps her feel better. The fetal position became for her not a sign of weakness, but a symbol of wise self-care. She started sleeping in this position regularly, and her sciatica flare-ups became significantly less frequent and less intense. She felt like the master of her body, not its prisoner. If your lower back aches, try this cozy position. Perhaps it will be your salvation and give your back its long-awaited rest. Don't be afraid to curl up in a ball. Sometimes it's the strongest thing you can do for yourself. Position found, whether it's simply on your side or in the fetal position. But for it to work perfectly and not create new problems, you can't forget one critically important element, the right pillow for your head. If the pillow is chosen incorrectly, sleeping on your side might bring new problems instead of relief, especially with your neck. Listen to the story of George, 73. George followed his doctor's advice and stopped sleeping on his back to reduce snoring and morning shoulder pain. He honestly tried to sleep on his side, but encountered a new problem. His neck started hurting. Every morning, he woke up feeling like his neck was jammed. It was stiff and difficult to move. He tried different pillows, an old feather one that bunched up, a new synthetic one that was too flat, an orthopedic one with contours that he found uncomfortable. He was disappointed. "What's the point of changing position if one pain just replaces another?" he complained. "It's probably just old age. Nothing will help anymore." He was ready to give up and go back to sleeping on his back, resigning himself to the snoring and shoulder pain. His wife saw his struggles and decided to approach the issue systematically. They went to a specialty store where a consultant explained the main rule for a side-sleeping pillow. The pillow must fill the space between the shoulder and the head, keeping the neck aligned with the spine. If the pillow is too low, the head will sink down, bending the neck. If it's too high, the head will be pushed upwards, creating tension on the other side. Imagine your neck is a bridge between your head and body. The pillow should be the support for this bridge, preventing it from sagging or bending at an unnatural angle. George was fitted with a medium-height pillow, firm enough not to collapse under the weight of his head, but not too hard. The material was memory foam, which adapted to the contours of his head and neck. George slept unusually the first night on the new pillow, but the very next morning, he noticed the difference. His neck didn't hurt. There was a slight feeling of stretching, but not pain. After a few days, he fully adjusted to the pillow and forgot about his neck problems. This simple change, the right pillow, became the key to comfortable side sleeping. What did this give George? Relief from neck pain, deeper sleep, because his neck wasn't getting stiff and waking him up, and consequently, feeling better during the day. Don't skimp on your pillow, and don't just use any old one. Choose one that is right for you in terms of height and firmness for side sleeping. Sometimes this little thing makes all the difference. Your neck will thank you. Head and neck comfortably settled on the right pillow. Wonderful. But there's one more small detail that can significantly improve overall body comfort while sleeping on your side. This last piece of advice for today, but a very important one. Try placing a small pillow or a rolled-up blanket between your knees. This simple trick can work wonders for aligning your spine and relieving tension in your hips and lower back. Betty, 76, had successfully switched to side sleeping to ease her back pain. Her back did feel better, but another problem arose: discomfort in the hip of her top leg. Sometimes she woke up from an aching pain in her hip joint or felt tension in her lower back on one side. She didn't understand what was wrong. But I'm lying on my side, just like they advised. The pillow under my head is right. Why does it still hurt? She wondered. She was meticulous and diligent, always seeing things through, and she was frustrated that even strictly following the recommendations didn't bring complete relief. She felt a bit awkward trying to find a comfortable position for her legs. Her top leg would either slide forward or press down on the bottom leg, causing discomfort. During a visit to her physical therapist about the hip pain, he advised her to try sleeping with a pillow between her knees. Betty was skeptical at first. Another pillow? The whole bed will be full of pillows, she thought. It seemed like overkill, an unnecessary complication. But she decided to try it, using a small sofa cushion. The very first night, she felt the difference. The pillow between her knees prevented her top leg from falling forward, which stopped her pelvis and lower back from twisting. This aligned her hips relative to her spine. Imagine, when you lie on your side without a pillow between your knees, gravity pulls the top leg down, creating a curve and tension in the lumbar sacral area, lower back and hip region. The pillow acts like a spacer, maintaining the natural alignment. It's like placing a support under a tree branch to prevent it from breaking under its own weight. Betty was amazed at how effective such a simple trick was. The hip pain disappeared, and the lower back tension eased. Sleep became even more comfortable. She felt harmony throughout her body. This small pillow became her indispensable nighttime companion. What did this give Betty? Complete relief from hip and lower back discomfort during side sleeping, improved sleep quality, and a feeling of caring for her body down to the smallest detail. If you sleep on your side and feel tension in your hips or lower back, definitely try this trick. Perhaps this small detail was exactly what you were missing for ideal nighttime rest. My dears, I know that changing habits, especially those that have been with us for decades, can be challenging. It seems easier to just put up with the discomfort, to blame it all on age. But your life journey has given you not only wrinkles and experience, but also wisdom, resilience, and an incredible ability to adapt. You've been through so much, and you definitely deserve to wake up in the morning, rested, pain-free, ready to greet the new day with a smile, not a grimace. Switching from back sleeping to side sleeping, choosing the right pillow, using little tricks like a pillow between the knees. These aren't whims, they are acts of genuine self-care for the body that has served you so long and faithfully. It's an expression of love for the life you have right here, right now. Remember, small conscious changes in daily routines can lead to big, tangible victories over pain and fatigue. Don't be afraid to try, to experiment, to listen to your body's signals. It will surely tell you what's best specifically for you. Believe in yourself, in your power, to change what hinders you from living life to the fullest. May every one of your mornings be truly good and easy.